Hello, beautiful family. How are you doing? Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. So, my quality people, today I have this quick one to share with you. Enough is enough. This response to Dr. Chance Aboki is a good one, and you don't need to miss it. Watch this video to the very end. I will be right back.
Hello, fellow Biafrans. Good morning from here. This is Emeka Livingstone. I titled this conversation this morning in response to Dr. Charles Apoki. Somebody sent me a videotape where Dr. Charles Apoki is from Uheli, San honorable man from Delta State. He's a born-again Christian and a preacher of the gospel. He spoke why are Igbos hated, and while he was talking in the process, he outrightly condemned the killing of the Igbos and their marginalization, and tacitly supported that Igbos should be allowed to go away if they don't want them to stay. So I was watching him, interestingly, and at the end of the day, because I've never known Apoki as one that has advocated for the Igbos, he always spoken for one Nigeria. So when he said it, I was very elated, and I was listening. And Apoki now made mention of Simon Ekpa and myself. One, he accused Simon Ekpa of promoting violence, and that Simon Ekpa is in Finland, that he doesn't have assets in Nigeria. And he is sort of suffering from megalomania. Then Apoki went further down to call my name. And when he began to talk, he was making mention that I worked with him in Church of God Mission. He knows me very well, of course. And that that they should tell Livingstone Okoronwo that he should stop that rubbish of inciting violence. That Livingstone does not have any assets in Nigeria. I know him very well. And that he was with me in the Sunday school in Church of God Mission. So I listened to it and I laughed. Because, yes, Prince, God bless you. I want to address an issue. Then when I finish, honestly, we need to meet, okay? Please, I know, how's the vacation going, my good friend? Yes, God bless you, sir. So, Apoki's comments were intended to denigrate both Simon Ekpa and my humble self. And I feel obliged to address the issue. If I have respect for you and you cross the line or behave unadvisedly or speak without proper direction, then I will have to address the issue and tell my own side of the story. Amen. Thank you, Prince. I have to address my own side of the story. Now, if you listen to Dr. Apoki's condemnation of, I understand or I believe that Aboki sees Simon Ekpa. I wonder why he had to mention me. Well, probably because he knows me. And myself, that possibly we are principal fronters of the Biafran agitation. And that is rightly so, because I believe in the Biafran agitation. Although we have other people who are coming up seriously, and you can feel, in fact, I'm going to make reference to one of them. One of the principal fronters of the Biafran agitation. I'm going to make reference to him. What he wrote and sent to my WhatsApp page. I have it here in my computer. I see a lot of ignorance in Dr. Apoki, regardless of what he tried to identify as the problems confronting the Igbos and Nigerians. And I've come here to clarify that issue. And then I hope this thing gets to him. First of all, we don't advocate for violence. Simon Ekpa has never advocated that we should kill our people in Igbo land. His last interview with Arise TV, because I'm sure he's never going to have an interview with them again. Those are very wicked and ungodly people. It was clear that the man that was interviewing was heading to Ukraine after that interview. And he asked Simon a series of questions. And Simon told him that we don't promote violence. That what you see happening in Nigeria today is a fallout of a system that is faulty from the beginning. That's what Simon was making the man to understand. And that those who promote violence also are those in charge of the government, those in leadership. So Simon has never for once told our people to kill our people. And he made mention of Ikenga, Ugochinyele's house that was burnt down. And he said, if it wasn't for social media and investigations that came out, they would have said unknown gunmen and then turn it towards the Biafrans. But they realized that it is not them. They know who burned down Ikenga, Ugochinyele's house. And Dr. Charles Apoki did not make any comment to that effect. So I see Dr. Charles Apoki playing a double standard, a game of double standards, two-faced. I want to tell you that myself, I have never advocated for violence because Onyendu never advocated for violence. We protested peacefully and they mowed us down with guns and bullets, with machetes. They came down from the north, came into our land and raped our women, burned down our houses, destroyed our farmlands, killed our men and our children. Apoki never made any comment to that effect. And when Onyendu raised up ESN, it was to throw away, drive the wicked Fulani headsmen that were invading our land. Remember, the federal government of Nigeria once gave them 100 billion naira, begging them, please, do not kidnap, do not kill people again. Can you imagine when you're negotiating with terrorists? And by giving them that money, the federal government directly, in a brazen show of shameless advocacy for kidnapping, violence, and intrusion into the lives of peaceful people, financed terrorists by giving them 100 billion naira. They were asking for 150. Apoki did not say anything in respect to that. And now that the Biafrans have made a statement in the last election, Apoki has decided to side with them by coming to speak as if he's an advocate for Biafrans. So, I don't promote violence. I'm a man of God. Let me tell you something about Apoki. We started from Church of God Mission. When Apoki came to Church of God Mission, he came into Aba to practice medicine as a medical doctor. It's my friend, or he was. I don't know if he still is, because the comment he made showed that he has already removed me from his mind as his friend. And I don't even care a hoot. And Apoki was in Church of God Mission with me under the leadership of Bishop Edohasin. Listen, I don't want anybody to see me like we're coming here to banter words. I'm just coming to share my own side of the story. You know, so that somebody don't say, man of God, you should have called him. He should have called me first. He knows me. Apoki knows my stand. He knows me in Church of God Mission. He knows my position over issues. That if it means going alone, I go alone to say what I want to say. Our pastor then was a guy called Felix Aye. He can tell you. Our bishop was a Dohasil. They know me very well. That when I'm standing on issue, I don't care whether the whole church is against me. I'm saying this is what the Bible says. And as of when I was saying it, I didn't even have money. Do you understand me? So I was just like a loner. And things were not working out for me. But I knew that God was leading me and I was going somewhere. And so I knew Apoki in Church of God Mission. We started and he was made a deacon. And when Apoki was made a deacon, the Sunday school department was first being handled by Felix Aye, Pastor Felix Aye. And when Aye was appointed a pastor by Bishop Edohasin, Aboki rose up to take over that position as Sunday school superintendent. I was a Sunday school teacher. Aboki never taught me in the Sunday school. So when he was making his comment, maybe to denigrate my person or maybe to belittle me or something, I do have these problems. Even in Church of God Mission, people look at me, they say, this guy can never amount to anything because they see, I come humbly to deal with you. I open my mind, my life to deal with you as a child of God. And if you begin to raise up those things you raise, even if I see them, I pretend I don't see them because I want to serve God. Along the line, and God begins to take me up, you see those people fighting against me from coming up. It has happened in even in the platform where I sat down as the chairman, the think tank group. Somebody rose up and told me that I'm jealous of him. So it's not a new thing, you know. People just get up and begin to speak again. And I don't contend with anybody for any position. I only make my contribution. Because even my bishop in the days at Aba, I was the general secretary, youth general secretary, Church of God Mission. Aboki is older than me with about 4 or 5 years. So by all standards, he's the direct senior to me because he's of the same age as my elder brother. So Aboki should mind how he talks to me. For heaven's sake, I'm a 63-year-old man or young man. So Aboki should mind how he addresses me. He should be wise with his comments than sitting down there and talking. So I knew Aboki and they made him Sunday school superintendent. And we started the Sunday school ministry there that is in a dimension that attracted people because our Sunday school department was very active, very vibrant. And our youth department was also very, very vibrant. People left their churches to come to Church of God Mission to belong to the youth body without being members of the church. And so we work together. When we go to Sunday school preparatory on Saturday, on Sunday we come to teach in the church. I had the second largest class in Church of God Mission 39 Umuola Road. Aboki his class was bigger than mine, but slightly bigger because he's a good preacher. He's a good teacher. So I also was functioning in the ministry in that capacity in Church of God Mission. And whenever we come in Sunday school, after we have learned together in Sunday school preparatory, we go to church on Sunday. Some people teach from the books, but we teach outside the box, but from the books. And when we begin to do exposition, ask Bishop Johnny Abrapa Mensa. He was one of us. So we were growing and we're growing. Ask Bishop Edoasin, he will tell you. Ask the King Gracious Uneze, he will tell you. I can't remember some of those people. And we're growing very greatly, both in the youth body. And the Lord blessed our church. And so, I used to go out to Ikoro Toiwo, Kanafun local government area, in the company of Mensa and Dr. Apoki to go and preach to lepers. We went to leprosy camp. We go there, preach to lepers, pray for them. I was holding lepers like this and praying for them with water coming out of their hands that have their leprous hands with water. People were afraid. We were moving in faith. I will hold hands with them, as Dr. Aboki will tell you. We'll pray with Dr. Apoki and Mensa. He gave testimony of how he was conducting operation on people that had hernia. We were all happy and we were moving together. But the time Oyibo them came into, Dr. Apoki was being contacted by foreign people, missionaries, in respect to the work we're doing. We're going to leprosy camps to go and pray for them. Suddenly, he just removed us from the picture. And I didn't care. At that point, I stopped being part of that ministry. I don't know what happened to it. So, we have never promoted violence. The point is that there's a lot of ignorance that Dr. Apoki exhibited. Because on the one hand, Dr. Apoki was talking about the inhuman treatment that is being given to the Igbos and asked Nigerians, if you don't want them to stay, let them go. That was a good one. Yet, Apoki contradicted himself and saying that Biafra can be made inside Nigeria. We can build Biafra in Nigeria. No, Dr. Apoki, we don't want to be in Nigeria. That's where you fail to understand it. Let me tell you why I don't want to be in Nigeria. I quote from my friend, Prince. He said, Nigeria is the main and real test in humanity. Because there's a lot of injustice going on today in Nigeria, where they are killing a whole people, destroying them. Nobody in the human race is bold enough to come out and say, this is wrong. But they are quick to go to Ukraine and fight. What is happening in Nigeria is atrocious. It's an eyesore to the heavens. And Dr. Apoki is aware of it. He cannot come out. I don't know those he consulted and whatever they said before he came out to talk that thing he said. He spoke unadvisedly with his lips. He did not consult very well. He did not process information he had. He did not go back to look at the history of Nigeria. Because if he did look into it, he wouldn't have said what he said. This is what Prince said. I'm quoting part of what he said, just one or two things there. Nigeria is the best test indicator and yardstick to know a human or a being operating without human component. Then he said, this is why I want to put you, say, it is impossible to support or believe in Nigeria without being the very worst of racists, thieves, fraudsters, self-harming, selfish, wicked, and greedy person. All academic excellence, civility, decency, and righteousness are neutralized by Nigeria or support of Nigeria. That is a fact. I repeat again. It is impossible. This is Prince, my friend, that quoted this. I took it. It is impossible to support or believe in Nigeria without being the very worst of racists. If you believe in Nigeria, it is impossible for you to support or believe in Nigeria without you being the very worst, not just a racist, the very worst of racists, the very worst of thieves, the very worst of fraudsters, the very worst of self-harming, selfish, wicked, and greedy person. All academic excellence, civility, decency, and righteousness are neutralized by Nigeria or support of Nigeria. We don't hate Nigeria, but to see Nigeria as a weaponized project intended to destroy a people. Chinua Achebe said that the only reason why Nigerians are united is because of the hatred for the Igbos. And I advocate for the Igbos. I'm an Igbo man. Now, I'm not speaking as a tribal man. No, I am speaking as somebody who is truly democratic. Democratic, because the life of these people matter. They are killing them. Just like we spoke in respect to those that were killed in Kaduna. And so, when Charles Apoki made these comments, what the first thing Apoki would have done, if he is as wise as I considered him to be, would have been to call me on phone and ask me what's going on. But Apoki quickly rushed on YouTube to denigrate my person. Apoki is just 4 or 5 years older than myself. I said he's a younger person. I know him. He doesn't have anything in Nigeria. He doesn't have any investment. That's a way to denigrate a person. And we are not about what you have. Because Apoki has succeeded in his business and ministry. But who have they impacted? If not that people give to him. How many persons has he helped? When you talk, and whatever you have done, you don't come out to say it. You don't come and look at a man of my caliber and begin to tell me that I don't have any investment. And remember, if I speak and Apoki's children hear me insult their father, they will not take it funny. I have sons too who will not take it funny to see Apoki insult my person. Apoki's wife will not be happy if I come out here to denigrate him. I know her very well. And therefore, Apoki should understand that I have a wife too. And therefore, when Apoki wants to talk, he should have picked his phone to call me and ask me, Pastor Livingstone, what is going on? Look at what I'm hearing. And let me tell you my side of the story. We don't advocate for violence. The ESM was formed to secure our boundaries because the Fulani headsmen intruded into our land, raped our women, killed our men and children, burned down our houses. And then Simon Ekpa did everything he could to highlight to the world that all these evil things that are going on in Igbo land are not from us. As a matter of fact, Hope Uzodinma is on record for killing the Igbos. And there was a time when Hope Uzodinma was attacked. He came out openly and said, this attack is not from IPOB, it is politically motivated. So even Hope Uzodinma exonerated IPOB. We don't ask anybody to kill anybody. Onyendu never said so. Simon never advocated, neither did I. Then I wonder why Aboki, in his bid to advocate for the Igbos, turned around and began to accuse IPOB that is an instrument to speak about Biafran emancipation from being emasculated by colonial masters and their stooges. I see no reason why Apoki will get up and begin to speak against them. Invariably, he used the kind of understanding that if you are not very wise, if you cannot read between the lines, you will see Dr. Apoki making comments in support of Biafra, but at the same time condemning you people. And I know some Biafrans who don't think, who don't process information in their mind before talking, will quickly go and say, oh, thank you, man of God, you are saying the right thing. That same Apoki knows that Nnamdi Kanu has been in detention and has been released by the courts in Nigeria, 3 appellate courts. And Apoki has never opened his mouth to ask the court, leave this man, he's free. He didn't do anything. Apoki has never opened his mouth to speak against the bombardment of Biafra land by the Nigerian army using military aircrafts as if we're in a war. Whom are you fighting? People who decided to sit at home. Now, the sit at home was not ordered by Simon Ekpa. In fact, the first people who ordered sit at home when Onyendu was rendition, was the defunct DOC, DOS, under Chikedozie. And they themselves reneged on it. The Igbos collectively decided that they wanted to sit at home. What Simon Ekpa did was to advocate and kept explaining to the Igbos the wisdom of sitting at home. Because, excuse me, each time they protested, peaceful protest, they will be mowed down with bullets. They will be macheted. There's an invasion of their land. No politician in Igbo land is talking. Obi himself did not talk, and I said it several times. And I told you that Obi can never ascend that throne. Not because he's not qualified, but because he saw evil and refused to speak against it, and was willing to sacrifice the whole of the Biafrans to ascend the throne as being the Nigerian president. God will never allow that happen. And that was why, regardless of the fact that he won that election, he did not ascend that throne. Because he's evil. He said that Biafra died 57 years ago. And instead of Obi to advocate for his people, he would rather sympathize with Nigerians when any of them have a problem. And that is the biggest betrayer of his people. If nobody can get up to say that, then that person is evil. He's a devilish man. Apoki refused. Listen, he defined Simon Ekpa as being a megalomaniac. I would have, I begin to see that, what is his problem with Simon Ekpa? He fell short of conceding to this world that Simon Ekpa looks like an alpha male because of his activities in respect to the restoration of Biafra. So the comments Apoki made just betrayed bias, betrayed ignorance, betrayed a way of projecting himself to be seen as an advocate for the Igbos. Why wouldn't he advocate for the Igbos? The Igbos helped in making Apoki. He came to Abai, had nothing. He ran a clinic, Petra Hospital at Obohi. I've been there several times. It was his entrance into the ministry that blew him up financially. That's the truth. He's my friend. I know him very well. And the Igbos respected Apoki. He was invited in programs because many of the churches where he went, I also went there on invitation. I know that Aboki was well received in churches. So if Aboki gets up to begin to speak that he knows Emeka Livingstone, that he doesn't have assets in that. Look, I had this problem with Aboki, but I refused to pursue it when we were Church of God Mission. When I was in Church of God Mission, I wrote drama. I would have been in Nollywood as a scriptwriter and an actor, but it wasn't the plan of God for me, so I dropped it. I wrote plays for 4 years. I had no training in the university to do that. It is natural because I know that I have a lot of things that God put in my mind. And I only showcase what I have by harnessing that which those who are around me have to be able to bring out what is inside me and fine tune it for the benefit of the general people, the public. I wrote drama in Church of God Mission, 39 Umola Road, for 4 years. I will conceive, I will pray, God gives me revelation completely how the whole drama will do from beginning to the end. And I put it down. Then we had a drama team, a unit in the church. We would practice for 6 months. 6 months I would direct. I wasn't part of those that were acting. I write, I direct. We'll get camera, they'll film it. It was always something, even Aboki himself confessed that this is something else. And to the extent that while I was yet in the church as an ordinary member, leading in the drama team, writing the script, training people and producing it, the Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship got attracted to what I was doing and they invited us to come and present 15-minute drama. We did it in 10 minutes. And they were very impressed. And one day I heard Apoki make comment because we do have rehearsals once a week, every Friday, for the whole of 6 months before we present it to the church. It was always a knockout. He said, I smell fornication in their midst. When I'm sure nobody, I have never told this thing to anybody, not even my bishop. Apoki was a deacon, he made that comment. I didn't confront him. I just laughed at it and forgot it. Because all the people I work with, some of them are either married to pastors' wives or they're pastors, some are dead. While we were in the church, I had nothing. They know me. Apoki knew me that I had nothing. I didn't have money, even to pay transport and come to church. I was constantly there regardless. He never called me one day and said, man of God, take 50 naira, help yourself. While we were in the church, he had a problem. He came and met me and said, he wants me to join hands with him and pray for him. He needs 31,000 naira. And he knows that I'm a man of faith. We prayed. Then I had nothing. I used to trek all the way from Tantobo Hill to come to church, and I'll come early to teach in the Sunday school ministry. And in the process, God was building me up. When he made that comment, I looked at it and laughed. I did not confront him. We continued our friendship and did things. So Apoki has taken it one step too far. I had expected him. Who is telling me? Who said stop insulting him or should be on his platform? Have you seen Chinwe and Usiongwu? Let me address you. I didn't insult Apoki. They sent me an information where he mentioned me on his platform. That is what happens to you people. Now he went on the platform and insulted me and Simon Ekpa. I don't know whether you have heard it, Chinwe and Usiongwu. I don't know whether you have heard it. And he insulted me. I'm just saying my own side of the story. And now look at you coming here to start advising me that I should stop insulting him, must be on his platform. These are, you know, this is how people behave. They don't process information. They don't process information. And I'm just holding myself from addressing this young lady. So let's just forget about her. Now, when Aboki was talking, he was very angry. And I looked at Aboki, I laughed. I said, you are angry just for talking. It was not, sorry, Chinwe. Somebody has corrected me. Thank you, Chinwe. I appreciate you. God bless you. Somebody was insulting me. Thank you. Please forgive me. Forgive me, my dear sister. Forgive me. So, Apoki was very, very angry. Yeah, I know she was replying to the person that insulted me, Chika. Leave I understand. Because I move on. And when I've apologized to Chinwe and Usiongwu. God bless you. I'm very sorry. Now, Apoki was livid with rage. And somebody was trying to come in and say it wouldn't calm down. Now, if Aboki could be angry within so short a time as to curse people in his program, then he should consider me, my people, my women are being raped, my sisters. They have defiled and desecrated my land, killed our people, destroyed them. He should have known the level of anger I should be operating. Yet, in spite of all that anger, I did not ask for violence. I said, let us leave. Let them leave. Let the Igbos be free. Let the Biafrans go out and serve their God and develop at their own pace. If they go into Apoki's village and do to his sister or his wife what they did to others, Aboki will come out on Facebook and curse the whole of Nigeria. He's trying to be a good guy and demonize us. That's how Tunde Bakare came out and said he was the one that God sent to deliver Igbos. Nonsense. Magnus Oraka came the other day. I had to address him, where he was trying to turn that thing to be like against Igbos, that this thing is not an Igbo or Biafra affair, that Igbos should come down, that Igbos don't have the capacity to control themselves emotionally. And I was asking Magnus Oraka, who is the person that is emotional? Is it the man that is constantly being killed or the man that is killing them for no reason? If there is a little mistake in Holland concerning Muslims, they begin to burn down the houses of Igbos in Kano. And Igbos don't retaliate. That's why I look at Magnus Oraka as an agent of the devil. And that is the game Apoki is playing. Because if Apoki believes in Nigeria, one Nigeria, then Apoki believes in a lie. And that was what Prince said here. Prince SM said, it is impossible to support or believe in Nigeria without being the very worst of racists. Thieves, fraudsters, self-harming, selfish, wicked, and greedy person, all academic excellence, civility, decency, and righteousness are neutralized by Nigeria or support of Nigeria. If Aboki supports Nigeria, he is the worst of racists, thieves, fraudsters, self-harming, selfish, wicked, and greedy person. All his academic excellence and righteousness is neutralized by Nigeria or being support of Nigeria. He said he voted for somebody in the Senate, whether it's something daffy on there or something, I don't know when I heard him. So he voted. We don't hate Nigeria, but we don't believe in Nigeria. Nigeria is a lie. It was founded on lies. It is something, look, Prince said Nigeria is the main and real test in humanity. Nigeria or humanity must
what is
die.
your take on this particular video? Please do
Heaven forbid that
it
Nigeria survives
and let it go
at the expense
viral,
and detriment of humanity. The whole world is making a mistake by deliberately supporting evil to kill a people whose hands are clean and innocent. Aboki said it that people have gone round the whole of everywhere they come, they establish commerce and industry.
Thank you, and bye-bye.